Morning, students. Okay. All right. Today we're going to learn about modal verbs. Okay. There are four we're going to talk about today, and that's can, could, may, and might. A lot of these words you probably already heard in conversation, or maybe you use them. You just didn't know they're called modal verbs. But we're going to talk a little bit about them because there is a lot of common mistakes that occur with modal verbs. So we're going to look at those. We're going to look at how to use them, what conversation pieces they are, and things like that. So our objectives today, I'm going to jump right into it, are that students will be able to identify which modal verbs are appropriate within a certain sentence, and we're also going to see how we use these four words in a communicative setting. So just kind of talking, having conversations with people, things like that. Okay, so first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on form, how it fits together, what type of language it is, what is it exactly, and some mistakes. Then we're going to look at function, so how do you use it, and then we're going to listen to a song or some music that has modal verbs, and we're trying to write them down. And then we're going to do a gap fill activity, and then we're going to do a conversation activity. Alright? Okay, so modal verbs are an auxiliary verb that expresses necessity or possibility. Okay? So something we need or something that could possibly happen. All modal verbs have the following features. They don't have a to form, or it's basically the infinitive form without to. So to run, to jump, to sing, these are infinitive forms, but we just take out the to and put in the modal verb. So I can run instead of I can to run. I can jump. I can sing. These types of things. Next is they agree with everything, all nouns, so you don't need to conjugate it, you don't need to change it at all. So she may do this, she might do this, you don't have to put she mights, things like that. They do not need auxiliary, so you don't need to put is, are, was, were. We don't need these words because they are auxiliary verbs, so you don't really need them. And never combine a modal verb with another modal verb. Okay? So here are the common mistakes. I can to sing. As I said, take out the to. So I can sing instead of I can to sing. She could running fast. So the mistake they did here, can you tell what they did wrong?
Yeah. So it shouldn't be running because could is past tense and running is present, and so that doesn't make sense. So it would just be she could run fast, or she is running fast.
Wow, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right. Okay, good. So she could run fast. Could is past tense. And we're going to talk a little bit about that later on. But yeah, it's also the fact that she, or this person changed running, or changed it to running. You don't need to conjugate it to running. You can just keep it as the infinitive form without to. So you just put she could run. Good. She can swim. So this one I'm going to kind of breeze through because I talked about it earlier. Just don't need to add s's because you don't need to conjugate it. She, it, he, all pronouns, exactly the same. So some more common mistakes. Do, you, can do this. So what's wrong here? Can you tell? This one's kind of complicated.
Yeah, there's a do at the beginning of the sentence that is unnecessary.
Right, yeah, this is the, so this is an auxiliary, do, so you don't need that. So you can get rid of that and just put, can you do this? Okay, so we don't need auxiliaries. He doesn't, may like it. So that becomes, he does not like it. You don't need to put may there. Okay. Alright, she will, can come tomorrow. What's happening here? What's wrong?
That there's will and can, like, next to each other in a sentence.
Okay.
That's wrong.
Good, yeah, so these are two, we're going to talk about this. These are two of the modal verbs, right? We talked about it a little bit at the beginning. So you cannot put two modal verbs together. So what you can do is you can get rid of one of them. You can put she can come tomorrow, or you can use a synonym of can and put she will be able to come tomorrow. So be able to is a synonym of can. Alright, so we're going to talk a little bit about the words and we'll do some practice. So the first word, can, and we'll kind of breeze through this because you already have the handout. The handout has all of this into it and we'll do some practice with it. So just kind of briefly touch on some of these. I can see you at 3 p.m. tomorrow. This is an ability or a lack of ability. So I can see you. Alright, or inability, they cannot dance. They can't dance. Okay, so inability or ability. The second function for can is giving or not giving permission. You can use my office or you can't smoke here. Not giving permission. Okay? So can you give me an example of using can and maybe the second function? So giving permission or not giving permission. What's a good sentence? Like maybe you can't borrow my phone. What would you say?
You can't talk in the library?
Good. Okay. Yeah, so not giving permission. Yeah. Good. So you can't smoke here. You can't talk in the library. Good. Awesome. All right, so could. First function, ability or lack of ability in the past. So key words here, in the past, right? So in the past, like you said earlier, I could read without glasses last year, or I could not sleep last night. Okay, so it's past tense. Usage, make a request and it's always in the question form. Okay, so making a request. Could you repeat that please, or could we have a break? Okay, so it's always a question and it's a request. Could, and it's past tense if it's in the first function. So, can you give me a request you would make using the word could?
Could we go to McDonald's?
Go to McDonald's? Okay, cool. So, could we go to McDonald's? Yeah, that'd be a good request. Alright, last one, making a suggestion. Only in the affirmative. So, if someone says, what do you suppose we have for dinner? You could say, we could have fish. Okay? Alright. Alright. Usage, may, asking for permission. This is the first one for may. So it's asking for permission. May I use your pen? Or may we have a look? So it's asking for permission, not giving permission. So can is giving permission.
So if I say yes you can, it's wrong?
Yeah, it'd be better to say yes you may. Yeah. Alright. And the next one is strong possibility in the present or future. Okay, so it may happen again, or she may not accept the offer. Or, it may not work out. It may be difficult in the future. This types of things. Alright. Last one, might. A possibility in the present or future. It might happen again. It could happen again. You can actually replace might with could in most situations. So could is kind of interchangeable, or it can be used instead of might, vice versa. Okay. A possibility in the past followed by have done. He might have missed his train. He could have missed his train. Both are okay.
What's have done?
Have done. So you can use have and then a past tense verb.
Oh, okay. That's an example.
So he might have missed his train.
Okay.
He might have forgotten his homework.
Okay.
Like that.
That makes sense.
Yep. I might not have managed to finish her. So have and then past tense. Right?
To convince her?
Yeah.
Okay.
I might not have managed to convince her. Okay, so in informal context, you hear can very often. So it's okay in informal context, talking with your friends and things, to use can. You'll hear it a lot, so just treat it maybe like you would hear any other modal verb. But just know that in formal context, with your boss, with your teacher, try to use may when you're supposed to. Because may is the word that gets replaced by can. Can you open the door is kind of asking, are you able to? Okay. Not, can you do it for me? So request, can you open the door? You can say that. Can I use the phone? We can meet. These are informal contexts. Okay, so now we're going to look at a video, and the video is actually going to have modal verbs in it, and you will find the modal verbs, write them down, and just try to write down the modal verbs as they come, and you can also write sentences if you can. So it's more of just trying to recognize those modal verbs and try to realize what function they're using. Okay. So play a little bit of this. Let's see. Let's do like right here. Okay, so if it was the actual class, I would play the entire video, but for brevity, I will skip over the video and we will just talk about what we wrote down. Okay, so which modals did you notice in the video? Did you remember seeing any?
I know I can.
So which one is a modal verb?
Can.
Can, good. So can. I know I can, so it's a possibility or something you're able to do, right? And then mustn't. We didn't talk about must. That's also a modal verb, and so there were others there too. So we'll just kind of talk like that, and then move into our next activity. So the next activity I have for you is a dialogue gap filling exercise. So we'll just have these spaces, and in each space you have to use one of the 4 modal verbs that we had. Okay, so we have 4 modal verbs: may, might, can, could. Okay, so can you speak Chinese? Yes, I
Can.
Can. Good. I
Could.
could speak it fluently when we were in China.
Past tense.
Past tense. Very good. So could is past tense. Yep. I need this letter translated into Chinese. Do you think you
Can.
do it? Can. Very good. Why is it not could?
Because this is present. Well, it's more like future tense.
Future.
You need you to write the letter. Translate a letter.
Right. Good. Okay. So we'll just go along like that, and you can work with someone next to you. Okay. Good. And then they'll work together, find the answers as a group, and then we'll come back and I'll give the answers like I'm doing right now. And all the answers are up here. And this is also going to be in a handout I give out later so they can refer back to it for reference. Okay, so the last thing I want to end with is conversation practice. So we're going to talk a little bit by using these modal verbs. It's the second activity in the handout I gave you at the beginning of class. So you flip over to the second activity, activity 2, and just go ahead and answer the questions. Or go ahead and talk about the conversation pieces. So the first question is, do you think that China could become a world power? Okay, you could say yes, because it could become a world power, or it might become a world power if it does something. So you might have to use the conditional tense, or the conditional form. So, something, 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 if it does this. Okay? So you'll just take 5 to 10 minutes, try to figure those questions out. I need you to write at least one sentence, and that sentence needs to contain at least one modal verb. Okay? So just go ahead and do that with your partners now, and work on that for about 5 to 10 minutes. So I'll walk around, check on people, help them out, see if I can, get them back on track if they start getting sidetracked, or help them word their sentences if they need help with that. So, all right. So China becomes a world power. How could China become a world power? I think China could become a world power if they did more trading. Maybe they opened up a little bit more and started trading. So, what do you think?
I think China could be or could become a world power if it becomes more progressive.
Okay. What do you mean by that?
I think I mean when they learn to use new ways and not be stuck in their old ways, because you have to evolve as a country to do better. And so I think if they were a little bit more adventurous, I think in trying a different way, they could gain world power.
Good. So what modal verbs did you just use?
Could.
Could? Okay, good. Yeah. Could, used could, and what else did you use? Do you remember? Did you say may? Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't remember.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's awesome. All right. Very good. Very good opinion. I believe you're right. I think that if they did become more progressive and opened your eyes a little bit more to different perspectives too, that could help. Right?
Yeah.
It could help. Come back to a class. All right, class. Let's bring it back. Who wants to share out what sentences they use? Remember, this is your exit slip, so it has exit slip written on it. And just show me these sentences before you leave, and you're good. Okay? So you should have at least one sentence for each one. All right. So what sentence do you want to share? I talked to Lee Tang a little bit, and then I'll ask other students to share their sentences, because I was talking to Lee Tang because she didn't have a partner. Everyone else might share out, and I've already been talking to her, so I can maybe I'd be also walking around formatively assessing other students and things like that. So, but they would share out their sentences, and then before they left, I would make sure that they had a sentence for me. And also, before we completely leave, I'll talk about the homework a little bit. So tonight, you'll have homework. It's on the back of your activity sheet. It's the very last page. Just 10 really easy sentences. You just actually have to choose which one. So it's either can or might, couldn't or might not, things like that, okay? Or may not. So just have to choose one of these, okay? Mm-hmm. So first one, they be away for the weekend, but I'm not sure. So is it they can be away for the weekend, or they might be away for the weekend? Right, might. Okay, good. So you just circle it and turn it into me tomorrow. Okay? Good? All right, so that's your homework. Everything's good, and free to go. Have a good day.